Nithyananda, a very warm welcome to all of you who are joining with us today for this Nithyananda Yoga ritual. The start of every Nithyananda Yoga class begins with the opening prayer, the Sadguru Vandanam, invoking the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let us now begin with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Now, we'll enter into the Shiva Mula Mantra, chanting the Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times. Chant this mantra 11 times internally, but for you to understand and follow along, we'll be chanting it out loud. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now, for the Nithyananda Yoga, we'll be beginning the ritualistic cleansing after chanting the Sadguru Vandanam and the Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times. The ritualistic cleansing is a beautiful purification process, literally invoking Paramashiva inside of you. Now, using your Panchapatram, take one Uddharini or spoon of water from the Panchapatram or the cup and pour it into the center of your right palm. Create the Gokurana Mudra with your right palm and pour the water into the right palm, and then along with chanting the mantras, whenever we chant Swadha, drink the water from the palm 3 times. Om Atmatattvam Shodayami Swadha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodayami Swadha. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodayami Swadha. Now, with the base of the thumb, wipe the lower and upper lips. Yes. And then wash your hands with 1 spoon of the water. And then with the index, middle and ring fingers together, touch the lower and upper lips with the index, middle and ring fingers together, and wash your hands again. Now, with the tip of your thumb and index fingers joined together, touch both the nostrils, right and then left. Then with the ring finger and thumb joined together, touch the eyes, right eye and then left eye with the tip of the index finger, and ring finger and thumb joined together, and wash your hands. Touch the ears with the tip of the ring finger and thumb joined together, right and then left. And then wash your hands. And then touch the navel with the little finger and thumb joined together. Then the right chest and left chest. And wash your hands. And then finally, with all the fingers together touch the crown of the head and both the shoulders, right and then left. And now we'll be entering into the Sankalpa Mantra. In this Sankalpa Mantra, you will be making a conscious resolution. Sankalpa can be translated to resolve or will or determination. And when we make the Sankalpa, it is a very effective, powerful way to make profound changes in the way that you cognize yourself and feel about yourself. The right Sankalpa can reshape our very being, our very consciousness, your body, and everything in your life. So now, let us put your hands with your right palm over your left palm and put both your hands on your right knee. And we will begin chanting the Sankalpa Mantra. Om Mamopata Samasta Duritakshaya Dvara Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartam Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartam Cha Shubhe Shobhane Muhurte Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararte Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvatamanvantare Ashtavimshatitame Nityayuge Pradame Pade Jambudvipe Bharatavarshe Bharadakande Meroho Dakshine Parshve Shakabde Asmin Vartamane Vyavaharike Prabhavadi Nama Samvatsare Nam Madhye Nama Samvatsare Shukshinayane Shri Lakshmi Venkateshwara Rato Shubhamase Shubhapakshe Shubhatito Shubhavasarayuktayam Shubhanakshatra Shubhayoga Shubhakarana Evam Guna Visheshana Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhadito Shri Kailashonnata Dvadashanta Shamala Pitaruda Shri Meenakshi Sundareshwara Bhinna Swarupa Parashivaputra Ratnakumara Gurumanya Tulyavatara Shri Parvati Stanya Panalabda Divya Jnana Vishruta Sakala Nigamagama Sarabhuta Dravida Veda Pravartra Srimad Paramashiva Karuna Samidigata Muktamaya Chaturashrayana Giyamana Chatra Chamara Shri Chinha Kahaladi Samasta Virada Valyalankrita Jnana Vijnana Chakravarti Sarva Janasanga Sadhyo Nirvana Diksha Vayaga Vargavasha Vishrana Jimuta Paramata Kalabakesari Shaiva Siddhanta Stapanacharya Shri Rajadiraja Pandya Maharaja Guru Kshapana Shakyadi Mahanta Karanivarana Jnana Bhanu Bhikshana Narharha Dvajochedana Purvaka Srimad Vrishabhadvaja Stapaka Shaiva Samaya Kartra Sarvajna Pitaruda Shri Jagat Guru Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Swami Vagisha Sundara Manik Kavachaka Swami Nam Avatara Bhuta Shri Jnana Sambandha Swami Punarudrita Shamala Pita Sarvajna Pita Vaduttara Dvijatama Guru Mahasannidana Arunagiri Yogishwara Paramparagata Arunachala Sarvajna Pita Guru Mahasannidana Kailasa Paramparagata Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajna Pita Trayasrimshuduttara Dvishatatama Guru Mahasannidana Nityotsava Nityamangala Nitya Kalyana Nitya Rajita Kailasa Paramparagata Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Pita Mahasamsthana Mahasimhasana Pita Kartra Shri Paramashiva Samudbhuta Kailasa Paramparagata Vaivasvatumani Ikshvaku Harishchandra Bhagirata Shri Ramachandra Surasena Ityadi Anavachinna Sarvabhauma Chakravarti Paramparagata Chatushashti Yogini Mandita Chatushashti Sampradaya Pravartaka Manudharma Shasana Surya Vamsa Prapta Sarvajna Pita Surangi Samraja Mudha Abhishikta Chudamani Sakshat Shri Paramashiva Samudbhuta Kapila Maha Guru Punarudrita Mahanirvani Pita Ashtotara Sahasra Shri Mahamandaleshwara Sakshat Shri Paramashiva Samudbhuta साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त श्री अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्त्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान श्रीनिवास परंपरागत कादिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थम गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थम क्षेमस्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थम समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव प्रसादेन सगुण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परम शिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम श्री नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. Now take one spoon, one uddharani of water in your hands and wash your hands. Now, with the Sankalpa mantra complete, we are now ready to enter into the ritual of Prathama Vinyasa Krama.
Nithyananda. So let us now start with the warm-ups before we enter into Nithyananda Yoga. So come to a standing positions on your mat. And start by rotating your ankles in the clockwise direction. And rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. The next foot, rotate it in the clockwise direction and anti-clockwise. Now let's go to your knees. So place your hands on your knees and rotate your knees in a clockwise direction. Let's rotate it anti-clockwise. Yes. Now your hips. So place your hands on your hips and spread your legs apart, shoulder width apart. And rotate your hips in the clockwise direction. So you should be able to feel the stretch in your hips. So try to push your hips back as much as possible and to the side as much as possible and to the front as much as possible so you feel the stretch. Now let's do anti-clockwise. Okay, so now let's go to your shoulders. Place your hands on your shoulders and rotate them. Rotate your hands in a clockwise direction. Now the other side, anti-clockwise. All right. So today we are going to be starting with we're going to be continuing with the Prathama Vinyasa Krama with the Vrikshasana. So in Vrikshasana, stand on your feet on your mat and place one foot. Place your foot into your inner thigh, like that. And if you are not able to go to place your foot in your inner thigh as yet, don't worry. You can start with placing your foot at the ankle here, or you can even place them at the knee. And if you're able to place them at your at the inner thigh, please do that. All right. And place your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of your heart center and raise them above your head. And you're going to be engaging, performing the Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is breathing in and out normally, and perform the Uddiyana Bandha. Lock your perineal center and suck your stomach in and up, and gaze forward. And the japa you're going to be chanting is Shivoham.
Vrikshasana. वामोरुमूलदेशे च यां यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेतु वृक्षवद्भूमो वृक्षासनमिवं विदुः.
Yes. Now the next asana we're going to be performing is, we're going to be doing Garudasana. So in Garudasana, again continue to stand on your feet and place one foot at the opposite thigh above your knee. And the other foot, the other leg should be kept straight. You should not be bending. Make sure your other foot is kept straight. And bring your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of your heart center. And continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka. And here you're going to be performing the Mula Bandha. So just suck in your perineals, lock in your perineal center here. Okay, and you're going to be visualizing Lord Garuda in your inner space. And continue with the Japa Shivoham.
Garudasana. गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भुवि सर्वदोषाविनिर्मुक्तो भवति महाबली एकपादमुरोर्भद्वा एकपादेन दण्डवत् जङ्घापादासन्धिदेशे जानव्यग्रं विवस्थितम् एतदासनमाकृत्य पृष्ठे संहारमुद्रया आराद्रयोगनाट्यं त सदा सर्वेश्वरस्य च.
Yes, and now we're going to be performing Vrikshasana on the other side. So place your left foot in your inner thigh and bring your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of your heart center and perform this Sahaja Kumbhaka. Breathe in and out normally. And here you're going to be performing the Uddiyana Bandha. Lock in your perineal center and suck your stomach in and up. And visualize a tree in your inner space. And continue with chanting the mantra Shivoham internally.
Vrikshasana. वामोरुमूलदेशे च यां यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेतु वृक्षवद्भूमो वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः.
And next, we are going to be performing Garudasana on the other side. So place your right foot, place the other foot, the left foot on to your knees, and keep your right foot straight. Bring your hands in the Anjali Mudra in front of your heart center and perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka and engage the Mula Bandha. So just lock in your perineal center and visualize Lord Garuda in your inner space while chanting the mantra Shivoham internally.
Garudasana. गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भुवि सर्वदोषाविनिर्मुक्तो भवति महाबली एकपादमुरोर्भद्वा एकपादेन दण्डवत् जङ्घापादासन्धिदेशे जानव्यग्रं विवस्थितम् एतदासनमाकृत्य पृष्ठे संहारमुद्रया आराध्य योगनाचं च सदा सर्वेश्वरस्य च.
Yes. And now the next asana is Trikonasana. So in Trikonasana, stand on your feet, spread your feet wide and bring the forward foot should be facing forward, and the other foot, the back foot, should be at a 90-degree angle. And you're going to be keep your hands straight, your arms straight, and bring them in front and down. Touch the ground, and your hands should be on the inside of the foot. Okay, make sure that the hands are on the inside of the foot. And here you're going to be performing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and engage the Mula Bandha. So breathe in and out normally and lock your perineal center. And here we are going to be visualizing a triangle in your inner space. Look forward and chant the mantra Shivoham internally.
त्रिकोणासना उत्तानपादं क्रोञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टप्रसारणे.
Yes. And in this asana, make sure that the foot that is facing, that is forward, is not bent while you're doing this asana. Make sure it is straight. And next, we're going to be performing Trikonasana on the other side. So bring the other foot in front of you, and it should be facing forward. And the other foot should be at a 90-degree angle. Raise your arms and bring them down onto the inner side of your foot, and continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka and the Mula Bandha, and visualize a triangle in your inner space and chant the mantra Shivoham.
त्रिकोणासना उत्तानपादं क्रोञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टप्रसारणे.
And in this asana, your palm should also be touching the floor completely. So in this way, with your leg that is completely straight, not bent, and your palms touching the floor, you should be able to feel a nice stretch in your legs. So the next asana now we're going to be performing a karana, the Niku Taka Karana. So here in this karana, you're going to be touching your heels together at a 95-degree angle and bend your knees. And you're going to be placing the palms on top of each other without touching. Just keep a space in between the palms. And you're going to be raising the right hand up and the right heels up. And you're going to be continuing doing this alternatively. All right. So this is the Niku Taka Karana. And now the next asana is going to be the Angushtasana. And here we are starting a new sequence where we are going to be chanting the mantra Sada Shivoham now internally in your inner space in this sequence. And the pranayama we are going to be performing, it is a new pranayama. It is the Brahmari Kumbhaka, where you are going to be giving out a B sound, like the humming sound, like this. So throughout this asana, perform this B sound as intensely as you can, and you're going to be engaging the Mula Bandha. Okay, and you're going to be visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. And so in this asana, you're going to be lowering onto the tips of your toes and place your palms in front of you in Anjali Mudra. And you should be placing the knees together. The knees and the palms should be together like this. So let's start.
Angushthasana Kabandhasanamaityahū Gorakshāsanameva ca Angushtamushtikam Nyeyam Brahmaprasaditam Tata.
And now the next asana is Saurasana. So in Saurasana, so from the tips of the nose, of the toes, extend one leg straight out and make sure your heels are down and the toes are up. So make sure the toes are up and the knees are down, and there should not be any space between the two knees. Make sure they are together, and place the fingers down onto the ground. Okay, and the palms should be facing forward. So here you're going to be continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka and the Mula Bandha. So lock your perineal center and continue chanting the mantra Sada Shivoham in your inner space, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Saurasana. Prasaryekam padatalam samstapya tvekapadakam.
Great. So make sure everybody is doing it. These are very easy asanas, and if you are not able to completely come into the position as of now, don't worry. Nithyananda Yoga, it's not just being able to extend, stretch your body. Nithyananda Yoga is about experiencing oneness with the divine, with Paramashiva, with the cosmos, and ultimately experiencing your own enlightenment. So at least try doing the asanas as much as you're able to, and you will see just within few days, if you continue to do Nithyananda Yoga consistently, you'll be able to perform the asanas just within few days. So now the next asana we are going to be performing is the Vidhunanasana. So here we are going to be continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka, letting out the humming sound, the B sound, and you're going to be engaging with the Mula Bandha. So the Mula Bandha, you're going to be locking your perineal center, and you're going to be chanting the mantra Sada Shivoham, and you're going to be visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. So here it is going to be the same position, the same asana as the previous one. The only difference is you're going to be touching the foot, your toes, and the other hand should be touching the heels, and make sure that the knees are together.
Vidhunanasana. गुल्पस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृशे तत्करेण गुल्पं चान्यं धारये तत्करेण दूनं पीठं चाभ्यसे चोभयत्र.
Yes. And the next asana is Saurasana on the other side. So bring the other foot in front of you. So bring the other foot in front of you, and your toes should be pointing forward, and you should be sitting. Your heels, the other heel should be touching the perineal center, and your palms, your fingers should be touching the floor and facing forward, and perform the pranayama, the Brahmari Kumbhaka. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and lock in your perineal center, and continue with the mantra Sadashivoham in your inner space.
Saurasana. Prasaryekam padatalam samstapya tvekapadakam.
Okay, and the next asana is going to be Vidhunanasana on the other side. So again, continue with the humming sound and the bandha, Mula Bandha, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. So touch your toes in front of you, and the other hand should be touching your heels, and lock in your perineal center.
पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृशे तत्करेण गुल्पं चान्यं धारये तत्करेण दूनं पीठं चाभ्यसे चोभयत्र.
Great. So I see a lot of you here are commenting on the chat. So make sure you're also doing the yoga, the Nithyananda yoga. And any questions that you have, I'm seeing some of you guys would like to join Gurukul, so you can actually sign up on kailasa.ecitizen.info. So you can go to kailasa.ecitizen.info and sign up. Okay, so now the next asana is going to be the Brahma Jurankuka asana. So here, keep your toes on the ground. So you keep your toes on the ground. Your toes should be touching like that. And you're going to be placing your heels on the perineal center. It should be touching the perineal center. And your palms should be, your hands should be on your knees. And your palms should be facing upwards. And your knees should be placed together. All right. So here, continue with the Brahmari Kumbhaka, the humming sound, the B sound, and engage the Jarandhara Bandha here. So here you're going to be locking in your perineal center and you're going to be sucking your stomach in and up. And continue chanting the mantra Sada Shivoham in your inner space and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Brahma Jurankuka. Do ufana pana hoye vese edi do guda nivese kora pagatalya ki mahili aise mahera se mili.
Yes. And now the next asana is Kapilasana. So in Kapilasana, place the knees on the ground with the toes tucked behind and sit on your so your heels should be touching your perineal center and your hands should be resting on your thigh, and make sure your legs are wide apart. So this is the Shambhavi Mudra. So here you're going to be continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka, the humming, the B sound, and engaging in the Uddiyana Bandha. So lock in your perineal center and suck your stomach in and up and continue with the mantra Sadashivoham internally. And here you are going to be visualizing yourself as sage Kapila Muni. And you're going to be gazing at the tip of your nose.
Kapilasana. Ube pagatali samataharaave tinako mahilikora milave panapana ukada hoye vese edido ujoni nivese godado ubhumi lagave samasarirani kata harave hastado ugoda parirase nasa drishti achala karidase.
Great. And now the next asana is going to be Bhadra Gorakasana. So in the Bhadra Gorakasana, so you're going to be maintaining the same position. And here the only difference is going to be that you're going to be engaging in the Mula Bandha. So lock in your perineal center and you're going to be visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. And here you're going to be gazing at your third eye and continue with the Brahmari Kumbhaka and the mantra Sadashivoham in your inner space.
Bhadra Gorakasana. Do pagatali samput kare koravarali bhuparidhare koravarali rakhe aise tapari moola dwarit givese.
Yes. Now the next asana is going to be Suryasana. Yes, and I do see some of you commenting that you want to get trained and to open a branch in Nepal. That's great. So you can actually join us for the Paramashiva Sena program. And this is Taurus Heights. Please join us for the Paramashiva Sena program. It's starting January 1st. So here you're going to be learning the Nithyananda Yoga, where you can also teach the Nithyananda Yoga yourself to others. So please join us for Paramashiva Sena happening in Los Angeles, USA, starting January 1st. So you can again sign up at kailasa.ecitizen.info. All right, so now then the next asana we're going to be entering into is the Suryasana. So in Suryasana, you're going to be sitting with your toes tucked together and place your heels onto your perineal center and place your hands in the Padma Mudra. So like a lotus. Like a lotus, you're going to be opening your palms, your fingers spread apart, and raise your hands above the head. So here you're going to be continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka, the humming sound, and engaging in the Udhyana Bandha. So lock in your perineal center and suck your stomach in and up. And you're going to be visualizing Lord Surya in your inner space and continue with the mantra Sadashivoham internally. Suryasana.
Suryasana. ఏడీడో గుడాతరియానే పనాపని బయటకు పునీతానే గోడా జంగా ధరి కరి రహే ఆడబామ ఇసి విధి గహే दो भुजानभ दिशा पसारे कमल स्वरूप अंगुरी धारे पौच मदि छिद्र पुर जाने छिद्र विषय पुनि दृष्टि आने.
Great. All right, now the next asana is going to be Mandukasana. So in Mandukasana, sit with your toes flat on the ground. So you're not going to be sitting on the tip of your nose, of your toes anymore. You're going to be sitting, placing your foot flat on the ground. Okay. And you're going to be spreading your knees apart. So spread your knees apart. And your hands, your palms should be on your knees. This is the Manduku Mudra. And here you're going to be performing this Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is breathing in and out normally, and engage in the Mula Bandha. So only sucking, locking your perineal center and continuing with the mantra Sadashivoham in your inner space. And visualize yourself as a frog and gaze at your third eye.
Mandukasana. पादतलोपृष्ठदेशे अङ्गुष्ठे द्वे च संस्पृशे जानुयुग्मं पुरस्कृत्य साधयेन्मण्डुकासनम्.
Great. And now the next asana is the Uttana Mandukasana. So the asana is very similar here. The only difference is that you are going to be bringing your hands behind you, touching your back and crossing your hands together like this. Okay. And you're going to be performing with this Sahaja Kumbhaka. Breathe in and out normally. And the bandha here is the Udhyana bandha. So you're going to be locking your perineal center, suck your stomach in and up. Continue with the mantra Sadashivoham internally and visualize yourself as a frog and continue to gaze at your third eye.
उत्तान मंडुकासना. मण्डुकासनमध्यस्थं कूर्पराभ्यां दत्तं शिरः एतद्बेकवदुत्तानम् एकदुत्तानमण्डुकम्.
Great. So in this asana, you should be able to feel a good stretch in your back. Next asana is the Simhasana. So in Simhasana, cross your ankles. So you're going to be crossing your ankles like this and sit on your feet. So sit on your feet while crossing your ankles, and the knees should be wide apart, and your fingers should be spread out and placed on the knees. So you're going to be opening your mouth wide here in this asana, and you're going to be sticking out your tongue and exhaling forcefully. So, and while doing this, you're going to be continuing with the Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is breathing in normally, breathing in and out normally, while you're going to be opening your mouth wide and sticking out your tongue and exhaling forcefully here. So the bandha is the Mula bandha, locking in your perineal center. Continue with the japa, Sada Shivoham internally, and gaze at the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as a lion. So let's enter into the asana.
सिंहासन दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्पेन दक्षिणेन तदेतरं हस्तौ च जान्वौ संस्थाप्य स्वाङ्गुलिष्ठप्रसार्य च व्यात्यवृत्तो वृनिक्षेत्र नासाग्रं सुसमाहितः सिंहासनं भवेदेतत् पूजितं योगिभिः सदा.
Okay, now the next asana is the Bhadrasana. So in Bhadrasana, sit on your heels under your perineal and keep your knees wide apart. So you're going to be sitting on your heels like this, and you're going to be keeping your legs wide apart and cross your hands behind your back and hold onto the big toes. So you're going to be crossing your hand and holding onto your big toes. And here you're going to be continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka, and you're going to be engaging the Jarandhara Bandha. So lock in your perineal center and suck your stomach in and up. And continue with the mantra Sadashivoham. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and you're going to be gazing at the tip of your nose.
भद्रासना गुल्पो च वृषणस्याधो व्यक्रमेण समाहितः पादाङ्गुष्ठोकराभ्यां च धृत्वा च पृष्ठदेशतः जालन्धरं समासाद्य नासाग्रमवलोकयेत् भद्रासनं भवेदेतत् सर्वव्याधिविनाशकम्.
Very nice. Okay, now the next asana is the Kakabusandi asana. And in this asana, so you're going to be squatting and keep your feet flat onto the ground. So your feet should be flat onto the ground and your knees should be opened wide. All right. So your feet should also be together. Make sure your feet are together, but on the ground here like this. And you're going to be bringing your arms in and around your back. So you should be able to be touching your back with both hands. And you're going to be continue to be engaging the Brahmari Kumbhaka with the hissing bisa and perform the Mula Bandha, locking in your perineal center, and continue to chant the mantra Sada Shivoham in your internally, in your inner space. And here you're going to be visualizing yourself as a crow. And you're going to be gazing at the tip of your nose. So let's enter into the asana. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor and touch your back with your palms.
काकभुसन्धि आसना प्रथमे वे सौकडिताने द्वौ हतापगां व्यचियाने तिनको मोडिनल्यां परव्लाव्ये पिष्टिपचे काकसी करावे.
Okay, very good. So now with this, we're going to be performing the last asana for today, which is the Kani Pavasana. So in Kani Pavasana, you're going to be placing your palms on the floor. So place the palms on the floor and your palms should be shoulder width apart. It should not be too close together and it should not be too wide. It should be shoulder width apart. And your knees, bring your knees on the back of your arms. So your knees should be touching the back of your arms like that, towards your armpit, and lean your chin forward and down and gaze ahead. So the bandha here, the pranayama here is continuing with the Brahmari Kumbhaka and performing the Mula Bandha. So locking in your stomach, your perineal center. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and continue chanting the mantra Sada Shivoham. So you should also, in this asana, while you're performing this asana, you should be raising your feet up. Okay? So let's enter.
Kani Pavasana. Asana ko guna asidashita hoi to achi hoi.
Yes. So with this, congratulations everybody for successfully completing many asanas today, Nithyananda Yoga. And all of you here who wants to get trained into Nithyananda Yoga and the various other sciences of Sanatan Hindu Dharma, please join us for the Paramashiva Sena program in Los Angeles and in Tiruvannamalai in India, where you can also learn these sciences from Sanatana Hindu Dharma and benefit greatly in your life. Okay? So now let's end today's session of Nithyananda Yoga with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam.